Alright,
there's something.
just
Come on. There we go. All right.
I
Don't
have wine.
don't mind me. We were having wine for dinner, and I haven't finished it yet.
I love wine for dinner.
Well, no, there was a dinner. Sometimes, it'd be like that. But
I was gonna say it was a day. Today we are being joined by good friends of ours from the Instagram community that we have been anxiously hoping to film a video with, and we have them here, the Dice Jesters. Julie and Dave, you guys want to talk about yourselves a little bit real quick?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Julie,
I'm Dave.
and we are the Dice Jesters. So we have a podcast which we deep dive through by to the community and world, I guess, universe perhaps. And Dave introduced 10 by 10s to me, so in that we decided to record that journey and just share it with others who potentially want to get into it or have been more tenured in it that would like to hopefully have others join. And then we have a YouTube, and on the YouTube we originally did playthroughs, but now we're kind of doing more so of overviews that are being released slowly. So yeah, that is that.
Well, I've been feeling
sorry.
greatly, so I was just like, we need to do something at some point. And I know you're on your own learning board game journey. Angela's been going on hers with me, so I was like, this would be the perfect theme video to talk to you guys with.
yeah, I often say I'm a newbie, but we've been together for 7 years, so I don't know when I can stop saying that.
So
I thought it was a little tinier, but if you haven't been playing consecutively for 7 years, it's cool.
I was gonna say, so whenabouts did you guys start playing games together?
We started last year in March.
Yeah, that's when I dragged you in.
Yeah.
It was my birthday, and she asked where I wanted to go, and so I chose this local board game cafe, and we grabbed a game off the shelf. And I knew that she played chess growing up and stuff, and I did too. And I said, "You want to try a game?" So we pulled out Azul and started playing it, and she was like, "Oh, this is a lot of fun." So then we grabbed Dominion and started playing that, and then started just getting these ideas for starting this podcast, and so that's kind of when we started playing together.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I know for you, I brought a couple games on dates. Like they were the Tiny Epic games. I don't know if you have any of those ones. But the Tiny Epic games from Gameling Games, I brought those on a couple of dates with us, and it never went well. But then
No.
during COVID, I got a copy of It's a Wonderful World, which we will talk about in a little bit too. But that one came out, and I played it solo a few times, and then you started asking me about
Yeah.
it and was like, how does this work? And I was like, well, you're gonna sit here and I'm gonna explain the rules. And I finally learned how to explain rules good. So
We're working on that one. No comment.
It is
But-
an art form for sure.
so either way, I was like, I wanted to do this whole video with her, and I said, give me your top 5 games and give me your top 5 games that you would like to learn out of our collection. And then I saw you guys going through the same journey. I'm like, you should help us with this video. So here we are. So yeah, we'll go one to
Me too.
one if you want to talk about your first one, and then kind of give us a little bit about it, and then we'll go on to ours.
Yeah, I would say my top favorite right now would be what is it? What is it called?
Or would it be your fifth, like your least favorite of the 5?
the 5.
You start with 5 and then you work toward number 1.
Okay,
I was
yeah,
gonna
let's
say
do it.
our list is kind of not exactly in that
I
order.
can make
but-
They're
it.
just all over the place.
I can label
Yeah.
them.
Okay, I would say that my 5th out of the 5 then is Orleans. I like that one
Yeah.
because it's a mix of Quacks of Quedlinburg with the, is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With the bag building, and then it kind of has a little bit of strategy, and then you also have canals going on, so it has a mix of Bruges where you're building a canal, like not building a canal, you're traveling over a canal in this game, or you're traveling on the road to collect things.
Like
and
cheese.
yeah, and it makes me laugh because he has a cheese song.
We're gonna need that for when we play Fromage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What
It's a fun game.
Yeah. What is your fifth?
My fifth top played favorite is Picture Perfect, where you have just a table and a bunch of people, and then you have objectives as to who they want to stand by, sit by, whatever. They want to be in the front row, they want to be in the back, they want to be hidden behind a plant, the works. And like the funnest thing and the most frustrating thing is when they're like, I want to be next to this person and be seen by the camera, but that person's like, I'm being hidden behind a candelabra. And you're like, okay, well, I guess what points am I losing? And so, yeah, I really like that strategy behind it because I feel like it's an exercise for me in not being a people pleaser.
Oh,
I was going to say my favorite part of it is actually the fact that you're supposed to take a picture on your phone at the end, and that's how you score, is based off of how well the picture comes out. And then there's so many expansions now. There's like a movie star, there's thieves that you can put out there, and they want to be behind certain people to kind of pickpocket them. Really cool.
Yeah, that seems cool.
That sounds awesome.
What is it called?
Picture Perfect.
Picture Perfect.
From Arcane Wonders, if I'm not mistaken.
All of a sudden their cart's going to be full.
Listen, they've influenced me on a couple, so.
Fair enough.
Picture Perfect. Oh, it looks cute. Oh, it's like an optical illusion almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like the artwork of it. Well, at least the base I've seen. We played it with your family, and it's easy enough to learn.
Yeah. All right, number 4.
Okay, number 4 would be 5 Tribes.
Oh wow, you destroyed me in that game.
Yeah.
That was rough. We also played it like several times in a row. We were up till 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And I woke up the next day and I was like, we need to play that again. That happened last night.
So yeah, I like that one. I liked how it had like a Mancala where you were moving the pieces around, and then I was secretly stealing all the green cards to get a collection, and then Dave didn't realize it until the very end that I would collect all these huge things, and I would get so many points.
I just wanted those gin cards that let you do the cool things, and you were collecting all those points. I get distracted by the wrong things in games every time.
I know, it's so fun.
Yeah, that was a game that's on my need to play at some point list as well.
Do we have that game?
No, we don't have that one.
Okay.
It's on my list, and if I ever find it at Savers, it's an instant buy.
Fair enough.
But
That's a good one. Yeah.
it's a one that I know a lot of people say is like one of their gateway games, and it's one that I wish I ever got a chance to play. My gateways were social deduction games, which is not normal for most people, I think. So
Like
it was
the
like
Resistance,
Yep.
or games like that. Yeah.
that was actually the one. The Resistance and Avalon and One Night Ultimate Werewolf.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All of
Resistance
those.
causes me insane levels of
Yeah.
anxiety.
Oh.
No, those we'll get into later, actually. What is your number 4?
My number 4 is pretty sad for me because it was my favorite for the longest time. It's The Valley of the Alchemist. Yeah, I think I was, an alchemist in another life or something, or something like that.
I was gonna say that's one of the games that have flown under the radar greatly, and it's one that was supposed to get a reprint during COVID, and then they backed out. Like 2019 is when they announced it, and then they just never came through with it. But I'm really happy that we have a copy of it now because it's like so hard to find.
Yeah, which essentially you're building ingredients to get potions, and then you use the potions to create tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
It seemed kind of disjointed the way he explained it to me, but that's how he said. He's like, yeah, we're playing tic-tac-toe at the end.
Yeah, playing tic-tac-toe with potions.
Yeah, but it's really fun, and much funner than just playing tic-tac-toe. But
I've never heard of this before, but the artwork, I just looked it up. The artwork looks really cool.
Absolutely.
So whoever comes out to see whoever first brings it, and that's fine.
But we have a lot of push and theme games.
It happens to the best of us.
Just who are as a person, I think that was like one of my favorites.
All right.
Yeah.
Trace.
Then my third would be Castles of Burgundy, because I demolished it.
You didn't demolish it. It was like kind of close, wasn't it?
Oh, not initially, no. But it was a game that when we first started playing the 10x10s, Dave said it was one of his favorite games, and he had a very high win percentage in it, and so I just wanted to knock him down.
I was like, I'm almost bored of playing this game because whenever I show it to people or whatever, I always end up winning, and you took that from me. So
that was one that was on my list for such a long time, and then we saw it with the 10th anniversary edition.
Yeah.
And then, so that's the one we had, and once I heard that Awaken Realms was redoing it, I bought that one, but I'm like, crap.
I'm pretty sure I bought you Castles of Burgundy.
You did.
Okay.
You did buy me Castles of Burgundy, but then Awaken Realms came out with their edition, and I was like, well, there's a new expansion, and I have to get it now, so sorry.
The weird one, that one looks awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible. It was really good quality, but neither here nor there.
So this is a toss-up between my. All right, I'm sorry. I love this game. You know I do.
I know.
My next is called Alibi, which is coming to Kickstarter soon.
Yeah, that one's coming to Kickstarter.
So it kind of feels wrong because not many people have it yet. But it is a game where you have, depending on how many people are playing, 13 suspects, not subjects, I guess, both, whatever.
It's not a medieval game.
It's not a medieval game. You have 13 suspects. I can never speak. Don't worry about it.
I was going to say you can bond over orthogonal.
Yeah. Oh, no, I can't. No, that's not my word. It's iconography. I can't do it. It won't happen. Anywho, so each of the 13 suspects have their own word, and each player gets 2 of the words, and you have to come up with one word that combines those 2, and then people have to guess the 2 words you have based off that one word you've made up. We'll have a video coming out about it. It'll make a lot more sense. But
it's basically an older brother to Codenames.
Yeah. Fair enough. But I
Codenames is fun.
I don't know. I felt like I never connected with Codenames, but for some reason this really hit it off with us, and we've played it almost a dozen times now.
That one was a gift during PAX Unplugged.
Yeah.
So we got that one, and it's coming to Kickstarter soon, so when it does, look for it. I'll play. Or boardgametables.com if you remember them. But either way.
Cool.
Number 2.
Number 2, it's like Parade and or Lost Cities. It ranges between that.
Well, first off, you're not doing a board game top list if you don't have an extra 2 or 3 in there.
Right. So I like Parade.
Oops, I failed.
Alice in Wonderland themed, and Dave and I are pretty 50-50 on it. For winning. So that's why I like it. And it's pretty. And then Lost Cities I lose all the time. So that's why I like it.
That's weird. I would not have thought that game would be on this list. It's funny. Yeah. We love the theme.
Yeah. We both wanted to be archaeologists. And here
Nice.
we are, not archaeologists.
Not doing Indiana Jones style work yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, not yet. You know.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Lost Ruins of Arnak next.
You can go to Target and get those little things that you dig out. Those little toys.
Yeah, I've tried one of those. They're really hard.
I'm allergic to whatever they are.
Oh.
So I bought one because I thought it was fun, and I was like, oh, my hands are breaking out. Cool. So that's a no for me.
Do you think Parade and Lost Cities have a similar feel?
No, I just feel like when we play it, you have a better chance at winning.
Because I think they kind of are similar in some ways. Like they give me a similar feeling. So I was curious.
I don't know. I don't know. I got too distracted by the theme.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's on my list now that I've been looking for since their video, actually.
Okay.
Sorry, you influenced me again.
He's very easily influenced when it comes to buying new games. It's, you know,
That's rude.
the look I'm getting.
On our own video.
My turn. Yay. My second favorite is Canvas. And Canvas is a game where you're creating a painting.
Yeah.
And the painting makes absolutely no sense. And you're trying to match symbols and colors, and most likely you're going to end up with something chaotic. And probably the reason why this is one of my favorites, is because we usually have a paint night after, where we then draw our paint our winning piece. So that's just something we like to do afterward. And yeah.
Aww.
Now we have these weird piece of artworks in our house, and it's definitely a conversation start.
I was going to say,
so
it's really cool because they use see-through cards.
Mm-hmm.
And the back of the painting is always just a
beautiful
regular card.
watercolor or something.
And then you get all of the other pieces of the card and you stack them on top of each other on top of the backing. Really cool.
Yeah, I remember my favorite drawing that we've done is a beautiful watercolor in the back with a pelican on top of a column with fire bolts shooting at him. So that's a piece of art I have in my home now. So, you know.
Have you tried the expansions?
Yes, we have all the expansions. The big box is coming to us. Yeah, no worries. We have it all.
It's like, don't cry about it. We have it all. It's good.
Do you have it hung up in your place too, so it makes the photo? No.
No, not yet. But once the big box comes in, which actually I have the box right next to us. My favorite part is that it has the little hanging piece on it in the back, so you can just hang it on your wall, and then you have that. Yeah, I love it. It's great. Who would have thunk? And our number ones, drum rolls if we want.
Oh yes. I thought you were gonna like drum roll or something. I thought you had a drum.
I bring in a drum set.
Agricola.
Ooh.
Yes.
Almost bought that yesterday, or at the convention the weekend.
Did you?
Yeah, we just finished up because our next week is the podcast for it, so we had to get the 10 by 10 done for it.
Nice.
So we can do that. And I like it because it's painful.
It is painful.
Because it always feels like you could use another turn when you get towards the end. And then I make a little farm, so it reminds me of the farm that I have in the Philippines. And it makes me excited. It doesn't have any goats, though. If I could just swap the sheep for goats, I would be ecstatic. And I was so happy because I video called my mom for the holidays, and my mom got signal because the part that my family's from, they don't really get internet like Wi-Fi or anything like that, so it's kind of hit or miss, and it was just perfect in a way where we got enough internet to where she could show Dave the farm and everything. And so she was all like, oh, and here's like the chickens, and here's like the pigs. And
I was into it.
Yeah, I know. I was like, so that was really exciting.
What's funny in the game is that I thought that the cows were horses, and I kept referring to them as horses. And I was like, it doesn't make sense that you eat your horses in this game.
No, not Game of Thrones, Dothraki stuff.
Have you guys played Agricola before?
No, it is heavily on my list. In fact, I was going to contact those people and see if they still have it to sell to us. But either way, I bought Hallertau off of a vendor.
Oh, is that this? They had that one? Oh, you didn't make note of that. You were just so happy about Hallertau.
Because no one has that.
Okay, fair enough.
Out of all of Uwe Rosenberg's game, that is the most, after Loyang, that is the most unseen game of his, I think.
Yeah, you're saying words that I don't know, so I'll trust you on that one. But yeah, I guess up to my top played, top
Yeah.
loved. This is no shocker.
To me, at
Are we
least.
ready for it?
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful World.
Oh, I haven't played that one. It looks cool.
It's a Wonderful World. It's the dystopian future board game and card drafting, and where you're just gathering resources to build up your community. And I can't play with the culture feature because I always forget about it, and if we play with that feature, I lose. So, and if we don't, I always win. So I'm not sure. I don't mind losing. It's just that like he can't win without playing with the culture. So I don't know. But it was funny. We joke about how he loses the game to me all the time because I'm just like obsessively in love with it. And when we went to PAX, we played it and he beat me, which I was okay with. But this one had to gloat about it. So then we had to play again, and I really wiped the floor with him the second time.
The cards were dealt poorly.
The cards were not dealt poorly. I just have a better strategy, and that's fine.
That is totally fine.
Yeah, but I also like all the flavor text involved in that game, the artwork too. There's a lot going on. Some of the cards are you just look at them and you're like, what is going on in this card? They're quite creepy, but in a good way.
Yeah,
sounds like my style.
Yeah, it's very negative dystopian future type of artwork and style.
I like it.
All right, so games on your shelves that you've just been eyeing, that you've been dying to play. Maybe you saw it at a game shop, at a cafe or whatever, and you just were like, I need to try this game. I need to play it at some point. So what is our number 5s for that one?
No, I have no order for this, but that's okay.
Just choose one randomly.
My turn first?
Go for it.
We'll
You
go.
start this time.
So two of them on my list we might have tapped into a little bit, so I'm gonna talk about them last. So he's very happy to know that I want to play Anachrony, and it is quite massive, and I'm afraid of it, but I do want to to play it.
So Anachrony is basically a worker placement game where you're trying to get supplies from the future to help stop an impending asteroid attack on the planet, and you want to make your civilization the strongest one, and you want to evacuate the planet first. And it's really cool. You're getting all these buildings, you're putting them out. There's so many just modular expansions that make the game so much fun to play. But it also makes it like 20 hours long. And there's so much to do, and it's just such a brain burner, but it's so good. I played the solo, and I've played it on BGA a few times. But I love the game. It is so much fun. So it was one of those games that I backed way back in my journey myself, and it was just, I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, okay, I'll back this. This looks cool. And then I'm like, oh, I really need other people to play this. It plays better with more. But it's great. And then the expansion adds blinking, so you can do multiple actions in a turn. It's fun.
I can't tell if he
You
likes
have a lot
it.
of things I really like. I love time travel and worker placement, so I think this game is one I really enjoy.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, I mean, it's a behemoth.
Yes, it is.
I can look at it now, and it probably weighs about as much as one of our dogs. And
Maybe not that bad. They're 35 pounds, so,
that box is almost 35 pounds. Like,
Never mind.
no, but it's a lot of fun. I love it. It's so cool. You don't see most of those mechanics in games ever. Like, you have to get supplies from the future, and then, you have to pay those actually in future rounds, or you get penalized. So,
Sounds awesome.
very heavy-weighted game, though.
It is a really big game. I have a friend who had this. He backed it from Kickstarter, and I was like, wow, that looks so big. I haven't played it.
Okay. What was it? Oh, Le Havre. I want to play. So it's on our 10 by 10, but I'm excited for it because Dave was telling me it was kind of like Agricola.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It is. It's like less restrictive than Agricola. But you still have to like feed your people or person. This is like one worker that you get in the game, but has a lot more cards, putting cards out. But you get to use your buildings, but you can use your opponent's buildings too. And it seems like a really simple game rules wise, but with some really complex decisions that you have to make. A lot of long term planning, so you're probably gonna do really well.
Yes, everyone's good at long-term planning.
My number 4. I think we're gonna stay along the same theme as my number 5, with the behemoths of games, and say Tricerion. Which even looking at that box scares me, for sure.
Tricerion is in the same vein as Anachrony, where you're playing as a magician and you have to go out and buy supplies for your tricks, and you have to book your time in the theater, and then you have to perform your tricks in the theater. And oh boy, there's a lot that goes on in that one. That actually might be Spirit Island is the heaviest. This is like the second heaviest game in my collection. In terms of how much is going on and how much you have to think about and plan in that game. I haven't played it myself yet.
Really?
No, that one is another collab I hope to do in the not so distant future.
How many players do you need?
Oh, you don't need that many players. It's just a game that the rule book has even confused me a few times trying to read it. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to get someone who knows the game to teach me how to play it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that one, very similar. There's so many expansions and modulars to that one as well. Mm-hmm. Dalgard's Academy, where you get new workers to put out there to go do things, and they have little icons on them that tells you how much energy each one has and how many actions they can do. It's really cool.
I think that's why I liked the one we recently played at where were we just?
I don't know. It depends on what game you're talking about.
The Magic one that we played.
Oh, okay.
Because it seems like Tricerion, but like make it simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because the one we just played was you're a magician, you need to make your tricks, and you need to collect cards in order to make the tricks. So I like that because like I knew what Tricerion was about. I didn't know what Anachrony was about, but I did know what Tricerion was about. So it sent like a bite-sized version of that.
That game looks awesome. I mean...
Oh, you know what they're talking about?
Yeah.
We have it. You know?
So,
so cool.
He just raided our basement.
In the opposite vein of Anachrony, this is Tricerion. Oh, that's upside down, and you can even hear all the pieces jumbling inside. Isn't that great?
I know. The cringe on my face was like, oh.
Yeah. This game is...
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Now my dog sniffing the box like, what was in that?
I was going to say, there's a few really good gameplay videos. Knights Around the Table, I think, is the one I watched. And he has like a bunch of graphics that are kind of just make fun of some of the rules that are silly. Like the shop, you can actually change everything in the shop because you get like certain items out. But then you can basically just throw any item out there. So it's like, well, what was the point of doing that then? If you can just always make something available that you need instead of, making it very stringent on it. They have a bunch of silly rules like that, but overall, I mean, that kind of just gets thrown out the window for just how great the game is.
Fair enough.
Nice. The third one I can't pronounce. The tavern one.
Oh, Taverns of Tiefenthal?
Yes.
Oh, I love that game.
I played that one,
yes.
Right? Yeah.
That was one we got for my birthday 2 years ago.
Yeah, I really like that game.
I've played the game actually only once, but I have a copy of it. But it's a dice drafting, deck building game where you have this tavern. It's like a fantasy themed tavern that you're trying to build up, getting people into your tavern. And I can't even remember everything that's in the game, but I just remember thinking it was really cool and the theme was fun.
I just got the expansion for it, actually, so that one needs to get played at some point.
Well, there's also modules within the game itself that you can mix and match. I think I just did the base one alone, but there's all kinds of stuff that you can mix and match with it. So it's fun.
No.
Yeah.
I think all games should have modular expansions. I just think that makes the game so much more easier to get expansions out than playing with just a massive box of more things.
Yeah, I like expansions where you could play for the first time with it and you wouldn't know the difference. Like anything that brings in a new set of cards or anything like that, where if you play the game a lot, it adds variety, but it doesn't add any rules. Those are my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
All right.
Good one. I can't wait.
I guess my next one is a Hippocrates.
Ooh.
Yep, I don't know how it's played. I can only assume you are a Greek doctor.
That's exactly what you are.
Yeah. Anyway, I love Greek mythology. I love all the mythologies, which is strange for someone who grew up Roman Catholic. But give me a Norse mythology, give me Greek mythology, give me Rome. Yeah, I'm right there. So yeah, Hippocrates is.
Yeah, basically in Hippocrates, you're playing as a doctor in ancient Greece, obviously. But you're getting all of your supplies to treat patients, and you're kind of basically making a like connected grid, and you're connecting them by symbols on the sides, and then you're treating them based off of what you have. And there's this really cool, I believe, worker placement mechanic in it where you have kind of like this grid tier system. It's I can't really even pull everything out of that box, but really cool stuff, and I've personally have not played it myself yet either. But yeah, that's Hippocrates basically. Really cool, fun looking game.
Yeah,
that one does look really good.
All right, number 3.
Number 3.
We're number 2.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my gosh.
I only have 2 more.
Whatever. I don't know math.
That's okay. Number 2, I really want to try Dinosaur Island.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because I wanted to be a paleontologist, as like the branch of archaeology being a paleontologist, and where I initially lived before moving here to Oregon, there wasn't a field for that. So I never got to do that. So now I just live vicariously through games and whatnot.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we have Tiny Epic Dinosaurs, which is like a miniature version of that. Couple things cross over, but a lot is left out of Tiny Epic Dinosaurs that Dinosaur Island has. But I basically feel like I have it, so.
This game looks so cool. I've never played it before, but I love the 90s theme. I mean, this is Jurassic Park, but
yeah,
it has like the 90s colors. It has all the references. Legally distinct, you look like But whenever I see this in the store, I always show it to you, like, man, we have to get this.
What are you doing to me? I show it to you. You go, okay, Julie, pick out something. And I always pick out that one. And you're like, that
I
one's
know.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
No, I've been wanting to try Dinosaur Island Roll and Write, I think it's called. The Roll and Write edition.
Roll and Write.
Yeah, that one. That one sounds fun.
I like it. So the next 2 are ones we have dabbled in, but like not either. So my second one's Fit to Print, which I have technically played. I have no idea what went on.
Okay.
And I don't know how I won. I remember winning it and looking at him and like, how did I win? I thought I did so poorly. I'm confused. I don't know what's going on here. But basically you're building a newspaper and you need to print articles and you need to fill up a certain amount of tiles on a board with the articles, and you can't have negative articles next to positive articles, and you can't have pictures next to other pictures, and it's like really confusing. And then it's kind of like just like people just grabbing for tiles in the middle. I turn to the dinosaur. We're grabbing. And so who's elbowing who, if you want to be, real cutthroat with it. I just feel like maybe I got the rules down, but I feel like we all messed up somehow and nothing was going right. So I kind of want to give it a redo, like a re-cleanse. Like, pretend I never played it, do it again.
Yeah, I know we didn't play with the timing rules. There are rules where you're supposed to go on a timer of, like, everyone's grabbing for 5 minutes, and then whoever says they're going to print first gets a bonus tile, and they get extra points for that round, and then whoever has the last one loses points. It's really cool and really fun. A whole bunch of chaos in a very fun way. So
I love the theme of that. It kind of reminds me. I don't know if you've heard of the game Penny Press, but it has that like old school newspaper theme, building a newspaper. That I just love that era for some reason.
Yeah, it's a game that I think most people should play at some point in time in their life.
I'm changing my top one.
Wow.
There's gonna be a last minute edit.
A last minute edit.
That's the one I just got. You can tell your top one while I remember what I.
Okay. So my top one is Septima.
Oh,
yeah.
It's the third Mind Clash game on this list for both of you.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
There you go.
Is that the designer?
The publisher.
Yeah.
So Anachrony, Tricarion, and Septima are all made by that same publisher.
Actually, another one that we really like is Astra, and that's a.
Was it the
how do you
consolation one?
Yeah, how do you describe that one?
I love the
but either way, that one's a lot of fun. I really like that one. But Septima, tell us about Septima, please.
Yeah, so I don't know anything about it other than its theme, and the theme is what really draws me in. And people who have been like listening to the podcast reach out and they're like, "Oh, you should play Septima. You would like it." You know, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool," because it is more strategic. It is more, from what I hear, to be like a harder, more intense game, and all of your decisions matter before it gets to like the end. And Dave got it for me as a surprise because for New Year's, so that was really cool. He was like, "Oh, the surprise," and then I told.
I didn't know we're supposed to be buying New Year's gifts for each other now.
Listen.
No.
Oh, we didn't do
I'm kidding.
other times. We just do New Year. Like, he just got it.
I just got it. I would have gotten it anyway, but I just said it was a New Year's gift.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that one is one that I've been looking to try at some point myself too.
The theme is really cool, like artwork and everything.
Oh, I've
never played it before.
Love the artwork.
It kind of reminds me of. Have you ever played Luna by Stefan Feld?
No, that is another one on my list to at some point find.
Yeah, but I do like.
You like trying to become the next leader of. It's like this moon cult, but but in September you're the leader of a coven, or you're trying to become the next leader of this coven of witches in sometime probably New England. And
it's got to be Salem. It's fine.
Seems really cool.
Well, now you have to come to Salem and play Septima in Salem.
Yes.
On Halloween?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. You
do not go to Salem on Halloween.
But if you have crowd anxiety, it is not the place to be.
And it's so dangerous. And everyone's like, "I want to go to Salem on Halloween." I'm like, "Are you okay?" I was like, one of my favorite YouTubers. I'm gonna shout her out for no reason. Sid Mac. She does Sims content. She's, I don't know where she lives, but I think she's on the West Coast too. I could be completely wrong. And she's like, "I'm going to go to Salem for Halloween this year," and Salem, Mass. And I'm like, "You are coming from where to go to Salem?" I'm like, "No." But, I mean, obviously she did. She's fine. But, like, I was so
kind of like
nervous.
Halloween Town here, if you guys remember the movie.
Oh, God, I love that movie.
Yeah. That's Halloween Town we went for Halloween this year, and it was madness.
Yeah. Dave didn't watch Halloween Town, and we were waiting in line for like 4 hours before he's like, "I've never seen this."
They're married now.
Yeah.
It took me a while to admit it.
We were too committed to the line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I have something to admit to you. I've never seen the movie. What? How do you never seen the movie. I don't know. I had strict parents when I was a kid, so.
I'm with you on that one. I'm with you. I never, like, my mother really doesn't like spooky things or Halloween things or not. So,
Yeah.
like, not because, like, we were religious or anything, just because, like, we don't like being scared. I don't know. And so I never got the fascination with Halloween, but I feel like maybe I'm, like, dabbling into a little bit, like maybe, like, getting a pumpkin, you know, like, baby steps.
Yeah.
Getting a little excited of putting candy out for the trick-or-treaters,
Oh,
even
God.
though we get none of them.
Yeah, goodness no.
Oh.
Anyway, my top one. I have changed because the one I had on my list, I've had this top list for so long that I've played it.
No, you're gonna have a 1B now.
Yeah, so 1B is Ankh. Again, love a theme,
Oh, the game was
Egyptian
so
god.
good.
Yes.
We played with his sister when she came to visit, and I had so much fun. I was crushing it for most of the game, and then he came through out of nowhere, like a Patriots in the last 2 seconds of a football game. I don't know what you did. Look at me with the sports reference. Am I okay?
It's an aged one now.
I need a thermometer. I'm having a fever. Anyway, that being said, I loved Ankh. I have all of the miniatures in my office waiting to be painted. So I decided we're gonna cut that one off the list. And
I don't know why.
well, you will. Hello. So I had gotten him a Christmas gift that, like, may have been for me, like one of those deals. But I knew he would like it because it was a board game, and I got him Babylon. The reason is because you basically build the board up and it's 3D, and I just absolutely fell in love with that. There's columns and bridges and different levels, and I know absolutely nothing else about this game, but it looks beautiful.
And it's actually kind of funny because I reached out to the publisher to see if they had a review copy for us to play, and then she goes and gets it. I'm like, oh, well, never mind.
You know, at this point, my Amazon algorithm is like, oh, you like board games now, huh? And I was like, well, I buy them for my husband, but yes, I guess I do too. And they're like, this one's pretty. And so I got it. And then I also got, I don't remember what the other one I got. Ruha.
Yeah,
I
but
got you Ruha.
you didn't put that on your top 5 list of games you want to play.
No. Well, it looks great, but the Babylon won over for top one to play.
Well, I know this list was mostly about these two, but Dave, are there a few games that are on your list of games you just have been dying to try for the first time?
I have so many. At the top of my list, I would say, Lost Ruins of Arnak. I've always wanted to play it. I have on my shelf here. By Stefan Feld.
Oh, you're gonna stop talking about
I've not stopped talking about it. It looks so awesome. SETI looks really cool. About looking for extraterrestrials, so I'm a huge fan of that theme.
That's how you pronounce it.
Actually, it's funny because the people next to us at X Unplugged were playing that Saturday night. Yeah, and I was like, I want to play.
Oh, PAX Unplugged. I thought you meant the other place we were. I'm like, no, they were playing. What were they playing that I really wanted to play? Oh, Sith. They were playing Sith. They were like looking for players to play Sith with us, and then we kind of like ran out of time, and I got so sad. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah.
Oops.
And then
I think I cut out for a second. What was the last thing that I mentioned?
SETI.
SETI, yeah. Yeah, that game looks really cool. Just the theme alone looks awesome. Unconscious Minds. Just the theme again is so amazing. With
we have that, right?
No.
That sounds so
psychological
familiar.
exploration, and the artwork looks really cool. How many is that? 4? I could probably come up with a 5th one.
Oh, I didn't even mean for you to come up with 5. Whatever's on the top of your list there.
Ooh.
I've always wanted to try Maracaibo.
Ooh.
That's a game that looks really cool. The pirate exploration theme of the Caribbean. And Alexander Pfister is a really good designer. So those are on my radar.
I don't know if you've heard of Skull's Tale. That's one that I have, and it's basically a same thing, pirate game, but you play in these little campaigns, and you have 3 parts to it. One's on land, in the water, and then I can't remember what the third one is, but you go through these little mini campaigns, and there's all these extra miniatures. Kind of, I want to say it's a mixture between a dungeon crawl and maybe a boss battler. But yeah, that one
That's really cool.
that one I've been having sitting on. There's so many in plastic that I have still. Sulkin that one I've been dying to play at some point with the gears on it, and you keep on moving that. Excuse me.
You say Zolkin?
Yeah,
Yeah, that is one that we'll need to.
Sulkin is one that I would love to get to the table. What else is downstairs in plastic? I mean, Babylon, Ruha, those are two. I would. We got one in from Kickstarter not that long ago, The Flood, which is all about basically you're kind of building up Noah's Ark, and you're trying to move across the board, and there's like these weather effects that that it has on the board, and that one looked like a lot of fun.
Every time I go in your office, I'm like, oh, I want to play that. Yeah.
That and Ryozan, because that one came out around the time that rotating boards was a big thing. And so you have this massive castle in the middle, and you're spinning that around. Let's see, do I even have... Obviously, I have one more somewhere. I would have to say if I chose one more... I want to play more Tang Garden, and with all of the expansion stuff.
Fair enough.
If you haven't heard of Tang Garden, another one, massive game, but you're basically building out a garden, and you're putting out the decorations. You got these 3D pagodas and bridges, and you're trying to match tiles and build up points that way and put people out there. And based on the direction they're looking in, you score points. I freaking love it. Fantastic stuff. But yeah, that's our 5 games. We want to play 5 games that we love so far. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah,
this was
fun.
a blast.
Thank you for having us.
And I would love to do this again at some point. Maybe we choose one of your top, your 10 by 10 challenges on you. And I think that could be a fun little thing. But either way, let us know whenever we can come by. Where do we find you again?
On Instagram, Spotify, and then YouTube. On the YouTubes, yes. I'm so bad at this.
Well, either way, thank you guys again so much, and we will talk to you all soon.
Yeah, thank
you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Toodles.